Welcome back to Jojo's Green Thumb Gardening, where every seed has a purpose and every harvest starts when you grow with Joe. What's going on, everybody? I know it's been about a week or two since you guys heard from me last, but I'm just now getting back home from my vacation. And as you all could imagine, while I was on vacation, I was sitting here not only thinking about you guys, but I was thinking about the garden and all the projects that we've started. So, today we're going to go ahead and kind of touch bases on some of the projects that we've started, some of those tomatoes, bell peppers, watermelons that we planted in those first videos. So if you planted at least within a week of the time where I planted, you should sort of be kind of where I am as well as far as the growth stage of your seedlings. So right here we have some of my tomato plants. They got rained on pretty hard yesterday, so some of them are laying down, but that's the stage that they're in right now. They're looking pretty decent. Right here, as you can see, we only have one. That's one watermelon seed that popped up. For whatever reason, like I told you guys, sometimes all of the seeds germinate, sometimes they don't. Here we have some of the orange watermelon, as you all can see. I believe we planted 4. 3 of those broke soil and 1 didn't. Here we are again, some more watermelon seeds that did penetrate the soil as well. Now, if you're looking here, we have some more watermelon seeds. Looks like they need to be fed a little bit. They're a little yellow, so I'll show you guys later on in the video about how much you should probably feed those watermelon at this stage once you transplant them. So now what we're gonna do next here is we're gonna go ahead and transplant the first watermelon seed out of the first cup. Although the other ones didn't germinate, I'm gonna just leave it there because sometimes they germinate later on. So I'm gonna just remove this one and I'm gonna transfer it into one of the container pots that we made in the previous video. This video is primarily to show you all how to grow your watermelon in container pots. Yes, it is possible. It is possible. You can do it on a patio. You can do it on a apartment patio, a screen-in patio, anywhere where you have limited space. So in this video, I won't be showing how to transplant them into a raised bed. This will be for containers only. So as you can see, you kind of take the cup and you just make an imprint in your soil and you dig deep enough for your cup literally to sit inside of the new container. I like to get a little black cow and blood meal to pour inside of the hole to be at the base of the roots for whatever seedling I'm entering. So now I'm going to show you guys how to properly remove your seedling so you're not disturbing or destroying your roots for easy transplant. It's as simple as that. Turn it upside down. You want to try to not have it wet or watered when you do it because again, it can kind of disturb the roots. It'll disturb the roots and remove the soil from around the roots, and it's not what you want. This is kind of the finished result after you transplanted it properly into a 5-gallon container. I then take the soil that I removed previously. I kind of sprinkle it around the top to fill in any gaps around the holes, and I take mulch and I spread it amongst the watermelon. Now, because this melon is on the smaller side, I'm not going to actually feed it yet with any food because it's still kind of small, but I did want to transplant it to go ahead and give its roots enough space to breathe and grow a little bit more. And don't forget to add your labels back into your containers once you transplant it. Now, this next watermelon that I'm about to transplant, these were some of the ones that were ready that looked a little yellow. I know I told you all in the previous video that you want to wait until your seedlings have their first true sets of leaves. These do. Some people may not feed at this stage, but for me, I'm going to go ahead and feed because they're already yellowing, and that's a sign that the watermelon is hungry. So I'm going to show you guys again a simple way to transplant another watermelon. But these, as you can see, they're a little yellow. So, I'm going to go ahead and feed these. But I'm going to transplant one into a container, and the other two I'll be planting inside of a raised bed in a separate video. Now, when I'm using any plant food or nutrients, I use a syringe. So I don't use too much or too little. It's a very easy conversion to use. My syringes in milliliters goes all the way from 2 all the way up to about 10. So this amount here is about 1.5 milliliters. I like to dilute my first feeding, always dilute it, just to make sure the plant does receive the food well and it's not rejecting it, because if it does, the plant will show signs of rejection, like a nutrient burn of some sort. But right here, this is about 1.5 milliliters of fish emulsion food or fish emulsion fertilizer. I mixed that with about another 1.5 milliliters of cow mag with 2 gallons of water. And I feed it generously until you see water coming out of the bottom of the container. But once again, here you kind of just make an imprint in the top of your soil, and you want to dig out as much soil, pretty much the size of the container that the seedling is in. Dig out enough so when you transplant it, it goes in evenly, and you're just topping it back off with soil and pine straw or mulch. You guys see how that was so simple and easy? All the roots are still intact. And to not damage the other roots, kind of just gently hold one side and not snatch apart, but kind of just tug gently across. And, you'll separate your roots. Once you've done that, you're just going to pretty much repeat the same process. I forgot to sprinkle in some compost and blood meal, but it's okay because I'll be feeding this one today, and I'll be doing that step later on in the process. If you guys notice, I didn't show any bell peppers because the bell peppers still haven't germinated yet. Usually they take the longest. Next video, I'll be posting the compost tea and a few other videos. And guys, we're at 96 subscribers currently. We need 4 more subscribers to reach 100. And don't forget, my promise, when I reach 100 subscribers, I'll be doing a raffle to give away free garden boxes. Stay tuned, guys.